Hi, so let me just get on to my iMovie. Now I did this once and it didn't work out, so I'm going to do it again for you because it didn't show the mouse on the other app that I was using. So I'm going to create new and then I want to click movie. And then I want to import media. So just click on that. Now I've already gone through and downloaded my Facebook Live and my photos, etc., my pictures from that I have already put my logo on. And then I also have another, now where did I put that one? YouTube header page, I think. Yep, so that one. And then I'm going to go back up and 2, 3. I think that's everything. Always stops at the really unflattering stops, I think, these things. Now there is one other one that I've got that doesn't seem to want to come in all the time. So if there's one in your iMovie library that you want to use, like I use these often for our monthly global video, you can just drag it up to my movie and it will pop in. So I just hold it down on, now I'm using an iPad, so I've got a pad that I'm moving my fingers around. I'm not sure if whoever's watching this is using computer or Apple Mac Air or whatever you're using, but I hold down on the left and move my finger with my right hand along over my pad to move things around. So all you have to do after that, this is the one I want to lead. So you just drag it down to the bottom, to this bottom section. Now, if I leave it on this setting, that means every time I pull something down, it's going to be way past what I can see. So if you just click this little knob here, you can make them smaller, which I quite like to do when I'm getting it all set up. So I'll put that one down. So I'm just clicking on the left and dragging with my right. This is the video. And that will be at the end. So I still want it a bit smaller. I'm going to drag that down. Now the next thing I like to do after that is the transition. So up the top here, you've got my media, audio, titles, backgrounds, and transitions. So transitions, this is just making a nice smooth transition from one clip to the next. I use cross blur and I'm just dragging it down, whereas you can use whichever one you like. They've got lots of ones here that you can have a look. Now it's preset at actually going with panning in and out each segment for the photos, etc. I'll show you what I mean. So if I press play at the beginning, see how that picture moves in and out. And I don't like it. I like it for some of my photos, but I don't like it for all of them. So what you can then do, like I want this one not to be panning, so you just click on it. So clicking on it means there's a yellow box. And then you just click on reset all, and that means it won't pan. And I also want to set this one because people can't read it if it's wiggling and jiggling all over the place. Okay, but these ones I don't mind. Now, I did a course and it said that each one should only be approximately 5 seconds long so that you don't lose the attention of your viewer. Like they just think, oh, I can't be bothered, it's not getting to the nitty gritty. So here am I trying to, I don't know why it's not working, probably because oh, how bizarre. Okay, there we go. So that little arrows like that should come up and you just move it. So it should be about 5, that's 3. Sometimes I don't know why I seem to be having a little bit of trouble with getting these things to move these days for some reason. I don't know why. If I find out, I'll put it on here, but you just need to take it down to about 5 seconds. I usually do this one, the starter one, about 5.5, and then I do, ridiculous, just because I'm doing this, you see. It's not going to be kind to me. So I'm just getting the arrow, moving it down to about 5. And the same with these ones, just do them at about 5 seconds. And 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. A little bit of fiddling around, but still good to do. You don't want to lose your audience before they even get on to the actual nitty-gritty of your video. So about 5 seconds. And then this one I actually tend not to do. I don't mind if that's about 3 or even 4, because it's just the inside of the card. And then the next thing I put underneath is, now I like to do the transition first and then the music, because otherwise the audio won't necessarily be as, because you're adding 1 second each time you put one of these in. So if you go up to audio, and then there's lots and lots and lots of different things that you can use. And I just use this one. I've just picked this one. You've got to be really careful, though, that if you select someone that's copyrighted, this whole list that Apple have on here are ones that you can use without being worried about that. Now, just drag that down as well, and it will automatically stop at the beginning of the video. Now, if you were to play that, it's actually quite loud. I'll play it, which I don't like it that loud. So I actually go down and I reduce the sound to about 32, and you just click on that. So I've just clicked on the speaker here. So I've clicked on the sound, the audio, gone up to the top here and clicked on the speaker and adjusted the sound. Now the other thing that's quite good to do, see that little dot there? There's one there and one there. If you hover over that and you get those 2 little arrows, and then, whoops, click on them, just click once you see those arrows and pull that along, that actually leads the music into being 32%. So it starts off softer and builds up, and then along here it's 32, and then it tapers off again. So that's quite good for that as well. Now this is my live, so there's a little bit of waffle at the beginning. So I'll just go along a little bit. I just want to cut it off. It's quite easy to do, so I thought I would share it today. Okay, too far. So go back a little bit. Off. He's broken his both bones in his lower leg, his tibia and fibia, and sorry, just bear with me. Surgery, trying to get it. So it's quite good with lives. You can then, when you upload it, remove what you don't want. He's now in complete bed rest. Sorry, I have to listen to this. Then in 4 weeks he gets, well, in 2 weeks he can be in a wheelchair, but still has to keep his leg up. Luckily it's school holidays during those first 2 weeks. Then he goes back to school and he'll be in a wheelchair then, because he has to keep it up. Come on. Sorry. Yeah, it's a long way to go with a 13-year-old stuck in bed, but I'm sure we'll survive. There's a lot more worse off people than us, but gosh, things can just change in such a flash, can't they? Thank you, Cindy. Yeah, it has been such a shock. Like I was at a course and got a call, and yeah, that was it. You have to listen to this. So, won't be. Yeah, well on the road to recovery anyway. So at the other side of it now, which is fantastic. Right, that will do. I think that's pretty much. So if you then bring your mouse back here, you'll see where the video has stopped. The arrow up the top indicates that. So then just left click on that dot, and this box will pop up, and I want to split clip, but you can see there's lots of other things that you can do as well. So I'm going to split the clip. Now I will use this bit because I am going to delete it to show you a couple of other things. If you are doing a video and you have a lot of repetitive stuff in that you want to speed that section up so that they're not having to watch you, say, put a whole lot of dimensionals on or color something in endlessly, then what you can do is you can go up here, and this little clock like a speedo, if you click on there and then speed on your left, if you drop that down, you can then click on fast. Well, you can slow it down if you want, but I want to speed it up, and I usually do about 8 times the speed, which is what that's on, and click on that, and that shows a little rabbit, which means this section is sped up. Now the only other thing you need to Remember when you do this, I'll show you. So if I just click where the sound ends, and I sound like a chipmunk on speed. So what you need to do then is detach the audio. So if you do exactly what you did before, highlight it, then click on it, and this box pops up, and then it has an option here to detach audio. So detach the audio, it drops down here, and then you can click on that part again and delete. That means you can then play it without the silly audio. But so you do need to split it out of the video to be able to do that. So you would split the clip before and after, and then speed that, just that section up. But I'm going to delete that. Now, one other thing that I like to do, and I'll just spread that out a little bit, is actually add a title. Now, these can be used for the beginning of your video, or they can be used, as I'm going to do, to add something during your video. You can put something like the size of the card. Oh my gosh, look at that funny face that I've got there now. You can do the size of the card, measurements. You could put up there the order number, whatever you like. I tend to use this to put my website on. So once again, you just drag it down to where you want it. Now, I don't want it 91. I don't want it to be all over the place. So that is where you're going to write, and this up the top here is how you can change it. So I'm going to click on 80, then I'm going to click back on there and put in stamping bees.go.nz. And then I always just like to play, and then it shows you that it's accepted it. But of course I want it to run through all of my videos. So if you drag it out like that, and then I'll make that a bit smaller again, and oops, just got to get the arrows and take it to the end. That means so wherever I play it now, it's going to be along the top of my video. You could make that, you could go in and fade that out a little bit too if you wanted to, so it wasn't so bright, but I think that's a little just up there is not getting in the way of what you are doing. So then before I do the next step, I will double check that I've got everything right. So I'll drag the arrow across and click there, which means that it's at the start. So this little piece here, when the hand comes up, is just the thing you can move along across to wherever you want to put it. So that is now at the beginning. So I'm just going to make sure the music's not too loud, that it pans over properly, just all those things like that that you've put into place. Right, so then you click back on projects, which is the top left hand corner, and it will ask you for a title. Multi-coloured backgrounds. Now I'm putting this title in, which will be what it stays on my computer, but if you're uploading it to YouTube or anything like that, you can actually retitle it to whatever you want. So that's now come across here, multicolored backgrounds. Now I'm going to highlight that. I just click on it, click on this little circle here. Now prior to this, or when you do this, I don't know if you've set yours up or not, but it will ask you to anyway. I've set mine up on my YouTube channel. So I click YouTube and then I click next. Always does this about copyright for music and all this sort of stuff. It will not upload if you do have something it's not sure of. Then I click publish, and this little thing up here will tell me that it's uploading, and you should get a notification to say that it is there. So that's all that you need to do to edit your videos. That's basically all you need to do for doing something that's pretty straightforward, which, you know, you don't really need to get into all the fancy stuff. So I hope that has answered some questions, and please ask if there's anything that you didn't understand or want me to go over. As I say, it's the first time I've done this, so I do hope it is nice and clear for you. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck!